All right. All right, we are here on table number 1. We have Jonathan Cortez versus Ronald Olahan. This will be our round 1 match for you guys today. And let me finish getting their information. So it should be pretty interesting for... I don't have access to deck list for this event. Super easy, but should be pretty interesting from what I was able to scout out for these players. All right, cool. All right. Let me get these names for you guys as well. So on the top, we have Ronald. And then on the bottom, we have Jonathan Cortez. And I know what Jonathan's playing. I don't actually know what Ronald's playing. Looks like we're getting set up for this round as well. All right. Looks like Jonathan is going first, playing an Upamon, starting at 0, going into a starter deck Patamon, gains memory on DP destruction, and then playing a TK. This is a very like outside of like getting a Jet Sophie. This reminds me a lot of like set 1 meta where it's just like, oh, you know, these are like Shine Gray at least. That looks like a really good Shine Gray turn 1, but looks like we're playing against Beelzemon on the other side. Go Impmon and then playing the one of EX2. So not on the top of your deck this game. And there we go. All right, putting everything else to the bottom there. Let's see. Also, Starhawk with the subscription, 26 months. Thank you very much. Hope you're well. Thank you, thank you. All right, and then playing Aimako. And there we go there. I don't know, their camera's weird. It looks like they're slow-mo, right? I don't know if it's the frame rate or something. It's really tripping me out. All right, so, okay, playing our Tamer there. All right, we have a Kazemon. So we took a Kazemon and a Jet Sophie from that security, so we have a pretty good idea what's in there with now Zoe reconfirming what we put in with TK. And, you know, obviously, TK, you probably scouted out. You're just like, oh, there's another yellow hybrid. And, you know, you get Jet Sophiemon 100%, but if it was the only yellow hybrid, you'd probably do something different. But now playing the Tai and Kari as well to pass back to 4. Let's see. Oh, Dwarf Commander immediately with the 1-up. Thank you very much for 28 months. Appreciate you both the same. It's well, whoever gets 3 years first, I'll appreciate you for 2 months, you know, and then they'll be even again. So, but thank you guys very much. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate that support. All right, going into Wizardmon. Going into Wizard X, which since you did Digivolve into a Wizardmon, I believe it only gets blocker, right? Yeah, it gets blocked until the end of your opponent's turn. So not honestly that helpful. Sometimes it comes up, but very rarely. Very rarely do you actually need blocker or care about blocker. Yeah. But now you also do have the inheritable, where the Wizardmon, you get to put a card on top of your deck when you attack, which is quite nice. And then is that a... I don't immediately know what card that is. If you guys know in chat, let me know. It's a purple option that costs 4. It's not Underworld's Call. I don't think it's Deathslinger. I actually don't know what card that is. That's crazy. Unless it was literally just Deathslinger to... You wouldn't Deathslinger to pass to 1, right? Because they had... Was it actually Deathslinger? It must have been. That seems so bad. Is that actually Deathslinger? It must be. That's crazy. If it's something else, let me know in chat. But I'm pretty sure that's Deathslinger. Alright, attacking with Wizard X as they set up another Tamer. Put a card on the top of the deck. Hits into security, hits into a Salmon. Alright, just pass him there. It'd be wild if it's actually Deathslinger. Because I would have just passed the 3. Unless they just needed the card in the trash. Alright, going into the Rapidmon. So Rapidmon will get the deletion on the Impmon, and then you'll get the memory back due to the Patamon inheritable. So you'll keep it your turn. Pretty classic combo there. It's been like a year old, but still can do some good. I like Rapidmon a lot. I don't know if it's just like the yellow and green colors like worked well together. Like visually, it's very appealing to me, but let's see. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, without shame, this is a locals, right? You want to make sure to have accessible format for a lot of people. So it could be, and it could just be not knowing like the TK is a memory setter. I know Yellow Hybrid is not the most recent deck in there, but looks like we hit a Rivals Barrage on the other side. And since you Digivolved on top of the Rapidmon, you no longer have that armor. And so going back to Jonathan's turn. But again, it's I believe it's 4 memory or 4 security to 5. So doing pretty good. Alright, Digivolving into Kazemon for 2. Probably going Jet Sylphie. Yeah, going there for 1. Get the recovery there. Ugh. I still miss Jet Sylphie at 5, or 4, not 5, at 4 copies. Is very strong there. Alright, probably a little bit late on using the Taikari effect, but it's what it is. So that hopes your Jet Sylphie survived by essentially giving it plus 4k. Right. Going into another Wizardmon using Ayamako. Put a card on top of the deck to reduce the cost. And with the Venusmon on the other side, they're a little bit in trouble. Yeah, so the Venusmon really just shuts off a lot of the stuff, so... I don't know if attacking there was the right way. Yeah, so everything gets secure attack -1, and then when attacking, when Digivolving skills essentially just don't activate. So easy to attack over there. All right, and unfortunately, it looks like just a straight pass. All right. And attack in. So this will put him to 3, which means you'll start to get 2 more memory every turn thanks to the Tais and Karis. But another Aimako looking at the top 4. None of those are rookies, which is, I think, what they're really looking for. So, fortunate there. Okay. And from there, still 3 memory for Jonathan. All right. Going there for 2. Okay, going into Rise Gray X for, I believe, 3. Using the effects to play a Tamer. Unfortunately, you do not get the minus, but a 3rd copy. All right, so you're getting an additional 3 memory, and you're guaranteed to start at 6 memory now next turn, which is a lot of memory. All right, and just playing the Witchmon and passing back, so yeah, you do get 3 memory. If you like Machinedramon, it is the format for that, or in the very least, you have to be aware of the Machinedramon matchup. It has to be a matchup that you can potentially win, because a lot of people are going to be on it. A lot of people. All right, yeah, just starting to hit them down there. If there's another Venusmon, you're probably done. Oh, okay. Phenophanimon. Fortunately, no purple in there, so only recovery. Oh, wait, what? Here, 1 second. Yeah. Say, yeah, because it has to have purple in it. Yeah. Cool. I normally don't jump into matches for like regionals and stuff, but for locals and stuff, I'll be like, hey, there you go. Yeah, anything that Yomi wants from Japan, she'll be the one who actually wants stuff from there right now. So probably message Yomi. All right, and there's the Wyvern's Breath. And Wyvern's Breath is pretty good. Let me like triple check. Machinedramons don't get protection against DP reduction, right? Because I think DP reduction is like the only one of the good ways to out this. Okay, it's only like the Secret Rare Machinedramon has they can't be the DP reduced, but let's see. Yeah, so unless you have Chaos X antibody on top of a Machinedramon Secret Rare, which can happen. Yeah. I haven't. I'm just saying, like I haven't seen an EX1 in a minute actually hit the board, but we did have Jonathan take the first game there. It's either that or like I like part of the reason I think Machinedramon hasn't done well in the past is because either DP reduction was a little bit more present, or are there just obviously some faster decks that can get above their blocker. And that was also because Analog Man hadn't been out yet. That's been a really big boon for the archetype. But I also think like source removal can be very, very strong against that deck. And we don't really have a lot of source removal decks right now either. I was thinking earlier, like, with no thought of actually building the deck or anything else, but like what would Beelstar look like with using Howling Crush and then immediately like, oh, we're on Ultimate Cup format, we can't do that. But you know, maybe Blue Flare playing is it Howling Crushers, right? Is that the name of the card that removes all the sources? Yeah. Being able to discard everything, probably pretty good. I think that something like that could be around. I just think like Machinedramon is really the only deck that really cares about sources as much right now, right? Are there any other decks that are around? Like Bloomlord kind of, but not really. All right, looks like we're going into game number 2. Oh, I do have a timer. It's there now. All right, Zoe there. And Patamon raising. Obviously, I think TK is usually the better of the two, but it will work. And we have Witchmon in raising. Normally like Witchmon out in the battle area just so you get your trash off the top of your deck. All right, and then going into a Bowmon from the starter deck. So that will let you get some mill, which I don't think we really saw a lot of mill from Ronald for our first game. Is being able to trash top 3 cards. So obviously I think this is like something that's also helped the deck consistently wise too. The when Digivolving has usually a little bit better when you can build your trash a little bit faster, which we don't generically have right now. Now going into the Zephyrmon. And are we going into... Like Rise Gray to play a Tamer would probably be okay. Yeah, that seems to be the case. Yeah, Rise Gray for 3, draw a card, and we'll play... No Tamer? Okay, there it is. All right. Another tying card right there. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't spent any time on EX4 yet, even though it's rapidly approaching. I would love to re-look at armor decks. It's one of my favorite archetypes in this game in general. So being able to have some extra stuff to work with seems very fun. So I definitely need to do that myself. Especially since like the Vmon for Impildramon actually does a lot of good work for it. Like helps out the actual like armor deck a lot too. It just hasn't had a chance to shine really. All right, just having to play the play Wizard X too. It's just looking like Ronald's just not seeing the pieces he's wanting. And I honestly don't know if attacking there is the right call because there's so much advantage you can give to your opponent for doing that. And now you're just liable for getting attacked over yourself. Right now you don't. I think they're both 7Ks, so they would trade, but I'm unsure. Ooh, especially with this Rise Gray X, though. Rise Gray X is going to do a lot of work. So you get to play another Tamer, then you do get the minus effect since you do have a Rise Gray underneath you. Yeah, this is actually pretty big for you. If I wanted to do well in Ultimate Cup, I'd probably play Machinedramon. It'd be a deck that I'd have to actually learn how to play because I haven't played a lot of it. But if there was a deck that I wanted to just play again, Yellow Hybrid's probably pretty high on that list. Yeah, the Omni S deck looks really cool. I don't want to be like the fun police and say it probably isn't very viable because it looks like it's a little clunky, but like what it does is really, really neat. I'm not going to deny that. It's just obviously consistency is a really big issue. All right, and yeah, we're going into Venusmon again, so pretty good stack there. Yeah, we see Marcus doing a little bit of punching in BT12. It's just not very consistent. Oh, the other deck I'm excited for EX4. I like Blue Flare, and I like Twilight, or like Dark Nightmon. So being able to mess around with playing with both, I think is really fun. I haven't honestly found a list that I really like yet, but I think it's something that's really neat. All right, going into Beelzemon there, which you can get the one attacking if you do have another chance to attack there. But, you know, obviously Venusmon preventing a lot of cool effects and such. So I don't think Jonathan drew for turn either. I probably missed it. I don't think he did. I think he just restood there. All right, yeah. So there's security number 1. So there's 4 security left for Ronald and for Jonathan. So no additional memory gain off the Tai and Kari quite yet. All right, Kaze for 2. And then Rise Gray for 3. Do we have a... Oh, no additional tamers. Yeah, so I think, honestly, Jonathan's a little bit clunky with his tamers and what he's able to find. So right now, you can attack Beelzemon into the Venus if you want to proc the on-deletion effect. But we're going to get a couple of mills first. All right, Sardek, Beelzy, and the Tamer, and then 3 more. No effect there. Witchmon and Wizardmon X. So no effects. You do have over 10, and I believe you do have a Beelzy in the security. Oh, we're just choosing not to. I'm giving them another Tamer. That's what, like, if you wanted to guarantee that, and maybe he didn't, but if you wanted to guarantee it, you needed to, you know, attack into Venusmon. All right, Rivals Barrage here. I believe this will get rid of, what, the Venus? And man, they're going to get so much memory. They're getting an additional 3 memory this turn as well. That's a huge amount. Yeah, 8 memory to work with. Now, one thing with Yellow Hybrid is sometimes they get a lot of memory, but they don't actually have anything to use it on. But that's not always the case. Sometimes they are. We'll have to see what's available for Jonathan here. But again, 8 memory, 2 tamers already set up, and in 2 different lines. Probably going to be able to do a lot this turn. All right, going into another Venus. On-deletion effects still trigger past Venusmon too, so attack in there. You get the on-deletion of the Beelzemon. All right, we're choosing the starter deck Beelzemon. All right, yeah, and then the Wyvern's Breath to get rid of it. Yeah, yep. And I believe it's 3 security to 3 security now, so you don't get the boost from the TK Kari, but you do from the Kari and Tai. All right, and then 7th full cluster, which will get rid of the Venusmon, passing to 3, and then I believe you'll be bumped up to 5 off the TK Kari. All right, going to Patamon and raising. Really thinking there. Again, you have 5 memories, so that's a lot to work with. But with Tamers being your mid spot, sometimes but having essentially, I guess, too many rookies. And going into Rapidmon. So this will cost 4. You will get the deletion of the Wizardmon. You get a memory back for the Patamon effect, and then you'll be passing 1 back. So it's probably pretty solid there. A little clunky since you see that, you know, there's obviously another Patamon in Raising, but the fact that we haven't seen any Ayamakos be established by Ronald or any like rivals, barrages, or anything else just means like quote-unquote board clear like that's really strong. But now going into Ayamako as well, looking at the top 4, there's Wizard X, Bowmon, another Bowmon, and also the Beelzy X. So choosing the Wizard X, which will probably Digivolve on top of the Impmon X, and raising there, and sending the rest to the bottom of the deck. Oh, we're super live, baby. Super duper live. All right, raising Patamon, attacking with that one pretty quickly, getting a draw from the Upamon. Hitting into Wizardmon. Yeah, chat is a rerun. It's actually a AI chat. That's why they're subscribing to me. It's just fake money. I actually lose money because I'm paying myself. It's pretty rough. All right, Yellow Hybrid doing the thing that Yellow Hybrid is good at. Finishing the game by just spending 2 memory at a time. 2 Kazemons gets the job done. And that will be with Jonathan taking it 2-1 with Yellow Hybrid. All right, you'll have to take their word on it for those dice. All right, well, I've committed. This is our match. All right, going through mulligans. And but neither player liking their opening hand. Also, timer has started. Not that I think this particular matchup's going to have the need of it. Okay, there it is. Okay, camera is now online. All right. And there it is. So it's going to be Red Hybrid on the bottom. Versus Ulforce. Which should be pretty easy and identifiable by now. All right, getting the BT12 Vmon from the BT4 arena. What set that come from? I think it's BT4. BT2. All right, I'm super off. From the 1.5 set, and then blue Mem Boost afterwards. You did set up your red tamer there. All right, going into a Goonie. And yeah, it's the new Takuya as well. So being able to set your memory to 3 is pretty good. Honestly, again, just having a card that has the name Takuya helps this deck a whole lot. I'm use the alt art because it's very pretty. And setting up a lot of tamers on the back end there, and then playing the Flamon, looking at top 4 for a red hybrid card. So your choices between a rookie or an Aguni, sending Gravity Crush and Atomic Inferno to the bottom. All right, attacking with a Goonie again. No, I guess they sorry, they did attack with the Goonie. Yeah. My apologies. I was looking at it for a minute, like, why did he turn sideways? And then they're staring with the memory on the other side. So, okay, going into V, into Arrow V, keeping your turn, which could be very strong there. All right, and I would, unless you're really itching for a tamer, I'd be tempted to attack into the Aguni there. See, Blaze, hello, hope you're doing well. All right, and you did it for the 4. You gotta play a tamer, so you're playing another Davis, so you do get the restand. All right, there's the Rena you're looking for. Adding a Vmon there. All right, balancing a Goonie back to hand, which is still okay, but again, like they can go into that again pretty easily. I mean, I guess what you didn't want to. I don't know, unless you're like really need that tamer. You do have the Undulation to play a Flamedramon from hand, but like then you can just remove that too, or bounce it back to hand. Yeah, I like it's not like strictly one way or the other, and you know, obviously I don't know the hand of Luis here, so if they were looking for that Rena and they really needed it, which it seems like they were, that makes sense. But I feel like being able to like slow the pressure a little bit would have been maybe a little bit better. But yeah, bouncing it to hands means that it's still just one Digimon on the field still, so it's probably okay. All right, and then going into Burning Gray there for 1 for assumingly just more cycle. That's the older Burning Gray 2, and then Flamemon discarding a Red Hybrid to draw 2 cards. Going to Luis there, hatching a Wanyamon, and now that Ulforce is still on board and you have everything else here, kind of in a good spot. Digimon still also has the deletion to play a Takuya from your hand, so you don't really want to delete that stack. If you can bounce it back, which you will be able to if you play another Tamer. Bouncing Burning Gray back to hand for this spot I think is way better. But then you also, you need to play Arena. Because you really want to, you kind of need blocker to not lose next turn too, right? All right, playing another Rena. All right, you get to use your Ulforce effect now, probably to bounce the Burning Gray back to hand. Which does bypass the on-deletion effect there. And then you get 2 memory back from your inheritables from playing a Tamer and restanding. Actually, I think both of them are just the Tamer play. So, and then another plus 1k there, attacking to security. Atomic Inferno. Ooh, that is very scary. That is opening up an avenue for winning there. Going to Ulforce X though. You do get a restand for that additionally. And Ulforce X lets you play if you have a blue Tamer play, or this Digimon is Ulforce, return one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest levels to owner's hand. So doing that. All right, so you're still a little bit in danger, but I don't think there's a good way to press 3 damage right now, at least without any gravity crushes. Yeah, no blockers, a little rough. We haven't seen any of the new Renas. Obviously, Rena would help you a whole lot here. All right, going into Burning Gray. This is our BT12 one. So it gets plus 2k for the turn, and then gives plus 2k as an inheritable. And then going into a Goonimon, so currently you're 12k. And then with the inheritable from our Takuya, if I can bring that up. Yeah, you get to... Oh, no, that's Takato. My bad. There he is. Yeah, it gets plus 2k, and it has 1k or more if it checks security, you get plus 2 memory. So currently you're 3 checks with Atomic Inferno, or 2 checks with Atomic Inferno. Alright, and then we're going into, I believe that's the new Emperor. It sure is. So Emperor there. When it digivolving, delete something with less than or equal, so it gets the deletion there. And again, no evade on the card. Man, it was pretty rough. And then you do have like your security attack plus 1. Obviously, you could have attacked into security, and then if you lived, then you get the memory back, and then you could attack with Flame on and get some extra value there. But I think, you know, just deciding, you know what, we'll just keep it where it is. We'll make it hard for them to win. But you just don't set up lethal for you next turn either, which is a little rough. And they have a lot of memory to work through your cards too. No, the focus. Focus. All right, your Arrow V from BT12. Using the effect, look at for Tamers again. Any Renas this time? Yes. Oh, 2 Renas. That's actually very dangerous. If you can keep it your turn, you have a lot of gas now. Yeah, I think they're going to be punished for it, though. Yeah, so that bounces the Emperor back to hand. But not able to keep turn is at least one good thing for you. But it does now have blocker and evade. And with no Tamer setup, I think Ulforce is in a really good spot. All right, and passing there, going into Burning Gray and raising, and again, no copies of your Tamer on board. So attacking with Ulforce, being able to use 2 of your Renas from BT2 and 1 of your BT11, play another Rena, which we knew we added to hand earlier. So it gets the unsuspend, gets the bounce back, the Flame on back to hand, which again, you didn't attack with it because they had blocker anyways. And then attacking a Flame on there. All right, attack number 2. And playing a 3rd copy of Rena. All right, you did give him a Tamer. If you have 1 more Tamer in hand, you're in a good spot. But, ooh, playing... Oh, I don't... That doesn't seem right. Wait. Right? How did he unsuspend the Ulforce? Oh, you activate the 1 digivolving effect. Sorry, I'm just having a slow day. Yeah, because you activate your unsuspending your own self. Yeah. There it is. Yeah, because you can attack with Ulforce X. Yeah. I'm just silly. Yeah, so you unsuspend your Rena, you attack, you use the Rena effect to activate 1 of your When Digivolving effects, and you just use the When Digivolving effect to unsuspend the Ulforce V Digimon. There it is. My bad. Yeah, because traditionally what the combo is that you use regular Ulforce. And you can use that with, because there's a lot of moving parts, but you use it for Ulforce, use the When Digivolving to play a Tamer, and then the regular Ulforce has your turn when you play a blue Tamer, you get to unsuspend it. So like that's traditionally the effect that unsuspends you, but since the unsuspend is on a When Digivolving on the Ulforce X, you can get the restand there. Yeah, exactly. So you don't really need, yeah, as you said, an Ulforce, but you specifically need to use the arena effects because playing tamers don't get the unsuspend or anything else. It's just using the Ulforce effects. But when you're already standing, when you already have evade, and when you already have like 3 arenas out, which 2 of them I think were active in the time, you're very protected. You're very, very protected. I think the only thing that, like, balancing the hand, which, you know, blue doesn't have, like a Kaitis, or red doesn't have, I don't think red really has any way to, like, any cards in security that could stop you like that. Only thing that could stop you is like having a higher DP. So, all right, looks like we're going into game number 2. Luis is on the play. All right, playing the Vmon there. Going into a Veedramon there. All right, I was talking about it in chat earlier. I'm just okay with Ultimate Cup format. I liked Ultimate Cup format for BT11. I think that one was really fun. For BT12, I'd have to do more experimenting with the new restriction list, even though it's minor. But I kind of like the new BT12 a little bit more than Ultimate Cup. But I'm also really excited for EX4. So like EX4 is like 3 weeks away, right? We don't have a lot of time in Ultimate Cup format. It's less than a month, all things considered. I think it's more of like the normal format, and instead of Black War Gray X, we have Machinedramon. I think it's actually a little bit more accurate. And you don't have Hunters and you don't have Cross Art. I would maybe a better way to say it is that since we know cards and how they do in Japan most of the time, we have very few unique formats. We normally know what stuff is when it releases, right? But for this format, instead, it's like, oh, we get 2 weeks of actual experimentation, but then we know it's up, and then it's worse than the original format. Do you know what I mean? I could be wrong. And that's really opinionated too. But I haven't seen. I've only seen a little bit of creativity do well so far. Yeah, I do think it's pretty wild for them to make a new form, like a brand new archetype. Like Arresterdramon is literally on the pack, right? And then they'll say, okay, here's a format that you can't play the card. But BeelzEX, which everyone actively, I think, dislikes more, go wild. Yeah, that's honestly my least favorite thing about Digimon is knowing what the format's going to be like before we get it. I definitely like more deck building and more creativity on that side. And Digimon, there's a combination of the limits of how the game works in general, and then also knowing how the set worked in Japan. It just feels like it's minimal for a card game like this. I also think, like, this is probably not too controversial. I think it's kind of lame and maybe rough that they don't tell you the format of Ultimate Cup and like until like a month after you buy the ticket, right? That's kind of rough. And both of them have been pretty consistently just the same as just the color restriction and the ban list. But by and large, I don't. If the next Ultimate Cup is just like, oh, a new restriction list, but then it's monocolor again, like I'd rather it be maybe a little bit more wild. Because this is just me as a Crossheart player and a Hunters player, not wanting to have to unsleeve my deck a third time. But I'm okay with I'll also be honest. When they first announced Ultimate Cup as having a different format, I was kind of a little bit on the fence of like, no, don't do that. We want these to be like ultra competitive, and like we want to get ready for regionals. But I do like the idea of having our own format. I've come around for it. Like I've been cool with it. I just wish it's a fine line, and I haven't thought of an event myself, like a rule set for the next one myself that I'd be cool with, because monocolor format is an easy one. It's easy to enforce. It's an easy idea, but it loses its charm if you do it 2 formats in a row, right? I'd want to do something a little bit different for the new one, and I'm not sure would be a good one. All right, well, I'm going to try to focus back on this match, just like Luis's camera is trying to really hard focus on that Ulforce. I think the deck this would honestly this would suck for me because when I do like all my deck lists and inputting them, I wish they had a mono card format. I think we people have tried that before, and that was like in the first year of the game. We're 12 sets deep now. We should be able to do a format where you can only have one of each card number. So all 50 cards in your deck are unique, and all your eggs are too. I think that'd be a really fun format. That'd actually be the one I'd want moving forward, like the next one. I think that'd be neat. I think that'd be very neat. It would literally suck for me seeing a photo and trying to input it into DigimonCard.io and do that, but there it is. Yeah, Highlander it does favor like Greymons and like some decks do still like have a lot of their pieces, but I think it'd still be neat. I think we've had enough lines and enough decks that it can be good. Cross hearts, yeah, just just be able to suck up everything. Yeah, that's fair. But you only have so many Shoutmons. I mean, you have a couple. I mean, there's only so many cross art cards, right? You only get one card with Blitz. You only have, or not with Blitz, with Rush. You only get one with, like you only get one of each, like cross 3, cross 4, cross 5. So I think it'd be neat. I don't think cross art would be. I think there's too many pieces that, like, you only have like one Ballistamon. You only have one Delulumon, right? I think it'd be really bricky. I don't think you'd, unless they made more Ballistas and Drulus, it wouldn't be that great. Yeah, 45 cards, dang. That's pretty nuts. All right, looks like Ulforce is able to find their pieces a little bit faster. Meanwhile, Red Hybrid having a little bit of a tougher time. All right. Got 3 memory to work with. You need to be able to... I think you went to Ulforce X, so you don't actually get the free unsuspend. You get one more check, and... Unless you have a hybrid, you actually can't finish it here. Okay, you do have a hybrid. You can finish it here. What am I saying? When did I never not have it? Am I right? All right, so Luis takes it 2-0 with blue, or with Ulforce. All right, here we are, table 3. And let me get these names. We have Tessera on the bottom. We'll see if they're playing Black War Grey X, or not Black War. The mat shows Black War Grey X, but if they're playing Beelzy or not. Obviously, they've been playing a lot of Beelzy, and they are streaming too. So make sure to support Tessera on Twitch as well if you guys haven't already. Let's see. Let me get these names for you guys. Yeah, so I think, yeah, Angel I believe is our blue hybrid player from before. Currently 101. It's Angel playing blue hybrid. And then on a table number, or sorry, on the bottom side we have Sergey. His name barely fits. And I'm going to say Beelzy X, and we'll go from there. We'll see if that's true or not. Yeah, Tessero is playing, streaming as well, so make sure to follow Tessero on Twitch as well. We'll see what they're playing. They're not using a they're not using the proper mat. Okay, never mind. Okay, all right. Who were kidding? It's like, oh, I wonder if Max is playing green tonight. So we all three of the undefeated tables are being streamed right now. If you guys don't care for this one, make sure to check out Max, who's on table 2, and is Radioactive streaming his game? I actually don't think he's streaming tonight. All right, stay here. RC We have Luis again, who is playing... What is Luis on? We just saw it. My goldfish brain cannot remember. We'll stay here. And we'll just jump to table 1 when we're done. He's playing Ulforce. He's playing Ulforce. So we'll say a blue hybrid. Because Ulforce versus Brady, who I'm not sure what Brady's playing tonight. Let me get our timer set up as well. All right. Trashing 3. No hits from there, unfortunately. All right, playing the Shikuyamon and Davis out, so a little bit of a slow start for Angel here. All right, playing Sora Joe. Going into Impmon. And then going into the Beelzemon. Going into Rivals Barrage off the trashing there. And we're going back to Angel with 3 memory. And Sorjo can do, what, a little bit of source stripping, but I don't think it's going to be too impactful for what you have right now. Getting the on-deletion away from the Pokemon is kind of nice, but not sure if it's good enough for pushing up. But it looks like Angel's thinking otherwise. Hammer sparking up 1, going to 4. I think there's another Hammer Spark in hand as well. Looks like playing a second copy of Sorjo, so you can get rid of a bunch of sources now. Alright, and stripping 4 sources. So that should be the entire chain. Yep, that is. And hits into a Bowmon, so going to get deleted there. And then playing a blue Memboost, looking at the top 4. There's, okay, I think it's a Lanamon, a Korikaku, and maybe an Ulforce? Maybe a Mach Galgamon? I can't tell. Yeah, real. Yeah, normally it's blue glare, and it's blur hybrid. So attacking in with the BLZ, getting a memory back for that. Hits into, I believe, a Sayakumon. Do not believe you have 20 yet in trash for Impmon. Right, and going into the Wizard X. And 1, 2, so being able to use that to get the Rivals Barrage into play for the delay effect. So using Ayamako to put on top, using the Wizard X to trash 2, and the card you put on top was the Rivals Barrage. All right, and then going into Baumon for 3, getting 2 more discards, so Deathslinger, and getting 1 more memory there. So I think you've gained an additional extra 2 memory this turn already. Again, though, since that Beelzy is still out on the board, if you don't like use a Beelzy Exego on top of it, you're gonna give your opponent 4 whole memory just from the Sword Joes. All right, and hits into I think it's Great Maelstrom, I believe is the name of the card. Yeah, so that lets you bottom deck just one of your opponent's Digimon. So getting rid of that whole stack that you spent most of this turn trying to establish. And then from there, okay, we are going into the Chaos X, which is quite strong there as well. And I believe that is 20 in trash, so you do get the double hit there. And then Ayamako for another 3, passing 3, and Sorjo will not be able to get its effect off. And unfortunately, it's going to be hard to get the stun on this KSX. It is possible, but it's going to be a little bit tricky this turn. And you have only 3 memory to work with as well. Kumamon into Korikaku would do it. All right, and just thinking about what he wants to do. This is a bit of a tough spot, especially with only being at 1 card left in your security. So Korikaku for the full 2, sorry. You do not get a strip from that one, unfortunately. If you can attack in, use Sorjo, and then like it survives, you can Digivolve another Korikaku and get the stun. That does not happen, unfortunately. Now you're in a rough spot. Yeah, Dan, now I know why you're not playing this weekend. It's because you gave Angel your webcam and your internet. Zing! Alright, and Sorai. It must have just drawn Sorai, but I would have started with that. Because it gets the stun and it would have gone the sources out. It's really funny, like sometimes source destruction is not very good, but other times it's just like, oh man, this just wrecks my entire game plan. It's very polarizing for a lot of decks. But this will, get your investment of your Sword Joes back. And I think like the best thing that you can do as Sergei is just if you can just build up your stack, which I mean you do have 2 Rivals Barrages to help you find the pieces to do that. You can use it to get an Impmon, which is the case there. And it looks like maybe just, I mean, leaving that in Raising is just fine too. You have 20 into your trash right now, so you can Warp Digivolve. You just need to guarantee you have enough memory to do it next turn, because Blue Hybrid generically doesn't run a lot of blockers. It's more of just the stuns after you've kind of already started to play your stacks. Ooh, and then Blast Mode. And you can attack with this now. That's very good. Hits into a Davis. But this is usually the weakness for Blue Hybrid, where you just don't have an answer to the rookie waiting and raising. And now I think that plays really smart too, because it gets around the fact that now you don't have a sourceless card anymore for Sword Joe to proc off of. And I wonder if he's just considering just to do a hard pass of 3, because you're going to give your opponent 3 anyways. Looks like Digivolving to Wizardmon and passing 3 after that. And like you'd be considering just leaving the Imp there because you can attack with it and Digivolve up into a Beelzy from your trash, but just deciding not to do that. And with only 3 memory, I think Angel's going to have a rough time. And I think Sergey is just very well played around the Sorjos, really kind of choking off how much memory your opponent could actually have gotten, which is great. And just showing a lot of power this game. Additionally, if Sergey loses round 4, will be guaranteed our last round. Otherwise, we have a 50-50 because we did sneak into 25 people for this event. Yeah, and Angel seeing the writing on the wall, saying let's go into that game number 2. Man, I gotta tell you guys, I have. What are your guys' thoughts on Milk Duds? I don't usually like them. I'd say every like 2 or 3 months, I have a real hankering for them. I've got a box right next to me. It's that time of the quarter, and Milk Duds are like the least ASMR candy to eat. They are pretty rough. You kind of have to just like let them melt in your mouth, and like they're chewy, and so I can't eat them while being here. Right? Yeah, you just kind of you get the coating off and then you eat them afterwards, right? But when you have like a microphone in front of your mouth and you do that, I could maybe get a crowd, but not the crowd of viewers I want. Not the crowd of viewers I'm trying to get right now. So I'm just being tempted. I honestly, there's like 3 Milk Duds left in this box. I've done a very good job at getting there. Tell me, Dan, what's the worst ASMR food? Dots? I've never had a Dots in my life, but I believe you. They just don't look appealing. I can see the box, I can see the dots, but I've never had them in my life. I do like Swedish Fish though. Swedish Fish are pretty rough though too. Oh yeah, and get like the really indulge the crinklies. Yeah. Yeah, dots. I can see dots getting stuck in your teeth. I'm more of a Mike and Ike's connoisseur, and generally I like the Mike's more. Swedish Fish, yeah, Swedish Fish are good. Laffy Taffy's okay. Laffy Taffy's another like non-ASMR candy. I had a pretty serious nut allergy. I still kind of have it, but not as serious. So I'm not like a fan of Snickers. I know like I think one, at least in the United States, like Reese's Pieces is like one of the most popular, if not the most popular candy. And they're just I just can't. I just can't. So I'm more of like, so there's some chocolate candies I can have, like Milk Duds are fine, but generally I go for like there's the pure sugar ones. Yeah, I've the only people I've met that don't like Reese's also have peanut allergies. Like that's it. It's either you like Reese's or they kill you. Right? There's no in between most of the time. There's very few people who, if given the choice, they're like, yeah, I'll have one. Or, assuming they don't die, and or like the duality, yeah, 100%. Yeah, it looks like a hard pass for 3, so a little bit of not finding the pieces or wanting to have the time to push up the Impmon X to get the self-mill from there. Given the choice, you would not eat Reese's, and you're not allergic. We've found them. We found the blip on the bell curve. Impex to Imako is good if you're going first. If you have to just pass your opponent to 3, it kind of feels bad. But, having to do it again. So definitely not finding any good cards for Sergey. I didn't really mean for this to devolve into a candy talk, but here we are. I think the biggest issue for me, though, with it is that, like, when you have, like, an allergy attack, like, your throat swells up. And when you eat peanut butter in general, because I've had it since, and I still don't like it. The reason I don't like it is because, like, you get the peanut butter film, and then I'm like, oh, this is just how it's supposed to be, or am I like, you know, having attack again, right? That's like it's more psychological now than actual like taste preference. Taste is okay, but not anything else. It's just like that. So like, is my throat closing up, or is this just like the good filmy taste? You know what I mean? Is this what peanut butter is supposed to do? All right, digivolving into... Okay, so going to Wizard for 2. I think you just drew it, because generally, like, this is a really good follow-up if you did do, you know, impacts into Ayamako. All right, so getting Deathslinger to get a memory back, and then also being able to set up your Rival's Barrage. Oh, you don't. Sorry, Madoki Betamon's out, so Deathslinger should not. I could have missed it. Deathslinger does not get the memory back. I don't think he did. I think he just naturally went back to 2 because of Ayamako. Are we gonna hit 3 more Deathslingers? Yeah, we hit 1 more. All right, Madoki Betamon has absorbed 2. Good boy. All right, attacking with, I believe it's one. I'm going to just assume it's Wanyamon. Wanyamon, Madoki Betamon, removing the sources from the Balmon. A little bit rough there. And hitting into another one, so that is the deletion of the Betamon there. Right, going into the Korikaku for 2, and into Beowulf for 1. And you could attack with this if you wanted to. Unfortunately, you just don't have a way to get out of this Bal X. Oh. Is that I believe that is Galgamon. I'm going to just assume it is until someone tells me it's not. So return a level 5 or lower to hand if no card was added. You get to add to hand the top card of their security stack. And also all turns once returned when an effect adds gain 1 memory for every 4. So I believe they gained 1 memory back, maybe 2. Only rough thing about this matchup is that you know, the Ayamako is a little bit you know, because of Ayamako, your hand size usually moderately small for this deck anyways, so like you don't get like a lot of pressure or like memory back, but you might have been able to get 2. All right, Deathslinger to get rid of... Okay, yeah, that's fair. How much, how many effects, Oh, they used Rival's Barrage and they gained memory back, right? Because Mirage says like whenever a card gets added to hand outside of it, like by an effect, right? So if you hit like a Ayamako in security and they play it, then they add a card in hand, then you get the memory back too. It's a really interesting effect. Very, very interesting. Okay, playing the starter deck to Matt, which is kind of like a mini Sword Joe. I remember I did like a release tournament and I played Blue Omni, but I teched in like the Wereguru stuff, and oh dang, Solar Flare. And one of my techs was using this card, and this card worked really well. This card worked really well. It's an oldie but a goodie, in my mind. I don't think it's as great right now. It depends on the format, too. If you're playing against decks, like some decks do just play a bunch of cards without sources. And then you get like just free memory off of it, too, but it's like a nice one or like probably a good 2 of in a blue hybrid build. Sometimes you just need to like. Sometimes like a 2 cost, something that costs 2 is really good for choking your opponent at low memory. All right, going into Wizard, getting the top 2 off the Digivolving. Actually, yeah, they should, right? Or is that there's a Wizard underneath it? Yeah, you're right. Oh no, okay. I didn't think so. It's just an Impmon. Okay. I think they were just deciding if they want to use Ayamako. All right, Balmon for 3. And then you get to top 3 cards. And you're deciding if they want to use Ayamako, probably. Yeah, deciding to do that to gain a memory back. And if you hit like a Deathslinger, there's not a lot left, but Betamon is gone. All right, looks like he hit a Deathslinger and a Wizardmon, so you get 2 memory back. One memory to go. You can go up into a level 6, but then it's going to be a hard time. You know, you're going to have a really hard time keeping it your turn, too. Also, looks like table 1 just finished. We'll see who got it there. All right, attack into security, hitting a Kumamon, so not getting deleted on that attack. All right, and we have Beelzy. All right, milling 4. No inherent triggers. And then, yeah, passing back to 3. So probably, no, there's no Davis out, right? Seems like not. But you should, yeah, you'll tie. You'd tie if you attacked into the BLZ. But I don't think there's any on deletions after that, so you both start over, and I think Blue Hybrid's just in a better position if you trade right now. Alright, and attacking. You're removing the sources from there. And seemingly attacking into security. Hitting a Rival's Barrage, which will get the deletion there. I mean, if they don't have an X antibody, you're in a good spot. Beelzy X, but they should have it. Hammer Spark for 1 to go to 2. And then playing a Howling Crusher, which, or not Howling Crusher, a Howling Memory Boost. So that should prevent your opponent from attacking with that next turn. They can go into the Beelzy X, but then they can't attack from there. I know I pulled the card aside earlier today. There it is. Yeah, Howling Memory Boost. Again, one of the olders, we pretty much got like the memory boost. We got all 6, one for each color, and then we got a couple of the non-draw ones. So this is, I think this is like one of, if not the best one outside of like reinforcing memory boost that we've gotten. Very strong for the stun effect and then getting 2 memory the next turn. Contemplating on the Rivals Barrage. Deciding to use it, and nope, deciding to not use it. I know there's not a lot of actions per minute for this match specifically, but there's a good amount of back and forth though. Like it's Blue Hybrid's making it pretty tricky for you to be able to go off as Beelzy. All right, so Impmon and raising, miss Mem boost. Discard 2, drawing 1. Getting a memory back from the Beelzy. And then going into the X. Getting rid of 2 security and going from there. Yeah, and again, like I haven't seen Blue Hybrid in a little bit, and most of like the most of Blue Hybrid was, you know, obviously very good before like a lot of the X antibody stuff came out. But now being able to play around Sorjo and Matt very easily when by using the effects of these is very nice. So, okay, using Digivolving there to get rid of the source with Kumamon there. If you have Korikaku right now, that could be very strong of stunning this X again, which I believe he does have in hand. Yeah, Korikaku there for 1. Getting the stun on the Beelzy X. All right, we have a rookie in raising now, so this could be approaching a good game state for our Blue Hybrid player. Taken here, get the top card of security and Impmon into trash, and then an Ice Wall. Ooh, Ice Wall probably clenches it. We'll see. That's really solid for you, because the next turn you're gonna have 1 attack, and if you have another hybrid in hand, you should be good. Angel's presenting quite a good card state right now. Man, who misses Ice Wall at 4? When are we getting it back at 4? What do you guys think? Is that 14? By the end of the year? By national season, we'll have it. I'm sure they'll do it. Yeah, just erode it to a 0 cost. Yeah, that was what it was really missing. It was too expensive. Ugh. As much as it sucked to have Ice Wall at 4, like even having like HPD at 2 just sounds so bad. It sounds so rough. All right, so you pop the boost, you attack in, you get the reduction there, and then you're going to get some memory back with the BLZ. And you get your memory back, but unless you are running 3 Imp X, oh, you do have Security Attack +1. All right, so Blast Mode would be able to take it here. That will do it. And Beelzy is so strong. I know you guys don't need to know that. I think you guys already know that, but. And let me make sure I get the name. So this is Nick with our Machinedramon, which we did see actually had the Ragna tech, which is really funny. And only funny because I thought it was a ridiculous idea, but then I don't know the deck list 100%, and just plopped it for a win. And then we have Chaz, who we haven't seen on stream yet, and they are playing Blue Hybrid, which we've seen a couple Blue Hybrids around today. Again, Chaz is our undefeated player. If Chaz loses, tournament's over. Yeah, we had quite a few. We had at least one. We had Max, who was who's 2-1, and then he dropped after this. I assume that he dropped. Either dropped or at least he didn't want to stream anymore. Yeah, he dropped after the loss. So he was 2-1. He could have definitely topped this event too, just couldn't have won it. But I will say, like, I don't think Bloom's been doing as good as advertised, or at least as I would think going into this format. All right, Nick starts off with the Sun going into the Numemon and passing one. Let me get the timer set up too. All right, there's a couple Strabimons. And I believe I was setting up the timer. I believe that was a Kenan Davis, if I saw that right. It took me a second too, and it's pretty much obscured on your guys' end. But Chaz has like another additional webcam that's in like the top left of their own webcam to just focus on hands. But it looked like there was someone like underneath the desk, like fiddling with something. It was really it was Mimi Joe. Okay, because I saw it was blue green. All right, let me get the Mimi Joe. Let me bring that card up. You don't see that card very often. Because normally, I mean, it makes a little bit more sense because you're generically probably only going to have blue cards in this format anyways. So the Ken Davis doesn't do as much, but if you have a suspended Digimon, play gain 1. If your opponent has 1, gain 1. And when one of your blue or green Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon battle and survives, you can suspend this to draw 1. So interesting. I wonder why they chose this one. Because at least with and they might be playing Megadeth, but even with the Kenan Davis, you at least get to you almost always get a memory off it every turn. Mimi Joe's a little bit trickier. Especially like if you stun them, right? Oh, I'm super winning. I'm not dropping a single game tonight. I'm going to go undefeated. All right, adding the Lanamon from the Davis. Yeah, only W's in this house. No losing allowed. All right, going into Haugirimon. Yeah, by tight, I think you mean like the actual meaning of tight, where it's just there's not a lot of space. Unless you're including the laptop. Like having a mat with a laptop attached, that's pretty tight. All right, playing Black Mem Boost. You get either copy of a Garudamon or Gardramon. Nope, Dory. Dory it is. Okay. All right, we have an Izzy for 4. Rearranging it like that, getting the memory back, and passing it right back to Chaz. So a little bit of a slow start, but you do get a good amount of cycle for our Machinedramon player. Going to move up the Strabimon. Going to go into Leomon for 2. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit of a spicier build of Blue Hybrid. A lot of irregular cards for sure. Attacking with the Leomon. And, okay, hits into Machinedramon, so you do get the cycle and the memory back. Alright, and then playing another tamer. Okay, playing the Joe and Mimi. Or probably Mimi Joe. It's probably Mimi Joe. It is Mimi Joe. Alright, moving up Hagiri. Or Haguru, sorry. Haguru. Alright, black Memboost for 2, going into your Kaustinen, using the effect. Do we have we shouldn't have a lot of level 5s in our trash right now. Alright. Getting a draw from putting a card underneath. Yeah, we got 2 undefeated tables. So we got table 2 here, and if you want to see table 1, Ulforce versus Beelzemon, that's going to be on Testro's channel in the same category. So you can check that out too. Highly recommend supporting Testro as well. He's been really grinding. I know it's there's usually like a catch-22 for content creator, like as a content creator who wants to do well. It's like you can really grind a deck list, and he's been playing Beelzemon for a long time. But then like people are like, okay, cool, we know how this deck works 100%. Like as a content creator, you kind of have this onus to play a lot of different decks to show off a lot of different play styles, and which means you're kind of like the master of none. Which means like if you try to take it competitively, it's tricky to balance sometimes. But he's been really grinding. He's been doing a lot of content and a lot of streams with Beelzemon, so definitely make sure to check him out. All right, going into Analog Man there. Yeah, looking pretty good for Nick, getting that, starting to build the wall on that Kaustinen. But you can also get some source destruction, potentially. You know, you do have 1 redirect. All right, Lana there for 2. And you could put a card underneath it to, to get rid of, or to give it jamming if you put a source underneath it, but it looks like deciding not to do that. Lana's only on cards on board anyways, right? No, it's from hand, yeah. I actually really like this blue hybrid. It's very strong. And then going to Beowulf for 1 because Lana is a hybrid. Hammer Spark for 1 to go to 2. Going into Leomon for 2 and raising. And then going into, I believe this is Mirage. I believe this is Mirage again. So this will cause them to burn a card from life. Adds it to hand. And then if they add any cards to their hand, you get to do its all turns effect as well. And I believe there's 8, so you get 2 back. And then you still go to 3 with Izzy. But then also, if you use the analog man effect, you gain 1 memory, but then you lose 2 memory. So you do have to be a little bit careful with that. But otherwise, Machinedramon usually has a smaller hand size than normal, so you can kind of play around it a little bit. Like, you don't get as punished about it. All right, getting that discard there, and then Mirage effect. Yeah, so you get the 2 back. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that effect is really sneaky. If you don't like actively remember it, you sometimes just walk into it. And sometimes it's really hard to play around, to be honest. Oh, but there's the X. Now you're in trouble. This can be pretty rough for you. And gets the Digivolve of, I believe, 3? Looks like only 2. So you keep your Lanamon. Otherwise, you would have kept your Davis out. Oh, and then did you get a... Something must... Oh, because of the attack. I think there's probably a Metal Mamemon underneath it. Because Metal Mame, when attacking, yeah. That's probably what was underneath it. This effect doesn't come up like a whole lot, but that definitely is great there. And then you played a Koji as well. And so this is great for Magna Garurumon, which I assume they're playing in their deck. Yep. Tomorrow's event is that I'm running is also Ultimate Cup format. Mostly just get people ready for Top Cut and Top Cut's next week. Then Play TCGs on the 17th. And then I think Core has the 24th, if that's right. Those are our main Ultimate Cups this week, or this month. There might be one week afterwards. That's also... Koji could just make their Digimon blockable, maybe. Because it's it's what? When effect adds a card to your hand, gain 1 memory, then this Digimon can't be blocked for the turn. So that's fair. I'd be very surprised if there wasn't like at least like a tech 1 of Magna. All right, so you got rid of the Leomon, so you got the memory back from that too. All right, going into Lanamon. So that you are right. This could just make it unblockable. But unblockable don't mean that much when there's a redirect. All right, going to Bayo there. All right, going to attack in, use the effect to put Lana back to hand. How many cards are left in security? If there's only 1 left in security, Hammer Spark could win you the game. Interesting. Okay, so that must be the tech because that's exactly what it's doing. So you use Lanamon back to hand with Beowulf, you get the memory back, and now thinking of the redirect. All right, get the redirect, get the deletion on there. So now you don't even need the Hammer Spark anymore. But looks like all right, so playing the Stravimon again, or the Lanamon, getting the Stravimon underneath it, attacking in. Has jamming now. It's like asking some questions. This is the last card in security, so if you... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, that is not what you wanted to see. That is so rough. Oh, that's a heartbreaker. That is like the worst card you could have seen. I think anything else you would have won. He last card in security was another analog man, which you can now use to redirect the attack. Oh, it's so painful. Yeah, that is a large oof. That is a pretty sizable oof right there. And I don't think he noticed it, because I think he tried to go for game. And he just got the redirect. There you go. All right, Leomon for the full cost. And again, here's the issue. Like, now that there's two analog mans out, now you have to get, what, 3 attacks in to be able to start doing damage? Leomon will get a blocker, but if there's like a Metal Tyrannomon you can put underneath it, you're in a bad spot. Like, that's just really rough. Like, Analog Man just won you the game. That's what it feels like. And again, Chaz needs to win this match to be able to force a 5th round. And again, he's making his Kaustinen stack look like one of those pusher coin arcade machines. Just like, oh, just one more coin, it pushes it off, I promise. Yeah, and just looking for something like Leomon does protect this current board state from losing. If you're able to out it somehow, you will be able to push for game afterwards. And if you have like a Metal Tyrannomon underneath it. Alright, just putting a Machinedramon underneath, which means you get the card draw from the Dorumon. Or sorry, from the Dorimon, from the Digitama. Alright, and getting some Analog Man procs off as well. Alright. Mamemon only pops 5 or less. Leomon's a 6. So it does matter. Right? I'm pretty sure that's the... Mamemon only gets 5 or less. Alright, Metal Tyrannomon will get it though. Getting the suspension off Metal Tyranno. Yeah. Attacking with that first. Hits into another Tamer and then Chaos for game. Alright. That is game number 1. Chaz is going to have to be a little bit quicker. Try to get this last game. Last 2 games to be able to force a 5th round. But looking pretty likely that this round 4 might be our last round tonight. Alright, I promise running an ad just so it doesn't pop up in the middle of the game. You're only gonna miss shuffling, I promise. We'll be right back. We're in the sub zone, unless the ad doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work. That's okay. It could. 2-turn OTK. That's more of like unbalanced Beelzy X, but it could happen. It could happen. All right, top 5 for both. Looks like Nick is okay with their opening hand, and looks like Chaz is as well. All right, starting off with Wanyamon. Going into Strabi there. The blue hybrid player is the undefeated player. All right, looking at top 3, deciding to get the Beowulf, putting a Lanamon to the bottom. Okie doke. All right, we're back. Hello. We saw a Davis add a Beowulf to hand, and that's about it. So this is game number 2. Nick did take game number 1. Chaz is the currently undefeated, so he needs to win 2 games in 20 minutes. And if that happens, we force a game number 5. Otherwise, if he loses our ties, we are done with round number 4. If you guys want to see table number 1, it's on Tessero's table right now. Our Twitch channel, which is also in the same Twitch Digimon card game channel. So make sure to check that out if you guys want to see that one as well. Tess loss? Ooh. Sorry to hear that, Tess. So Ulforce is currently undefeated, and Ulforce might win our event today. If Blue Hybrid's not able to win in the next 20 minutes, we do have our winner with Ulforce. Right, and getting some cycling. It looks a little bit of a slow start for Nick though, and this does happen to Machinedramon moderately often, where they just aren't able to find their pieces. But both deciding, you know what, let's just get some cycle in, see what we can find, and go from there. Let's see, it's looking like Machinedramon has a good chance. We're just entering to game number 2. Machinedramon has the game lead, and if Machinedramon wins our ties, tournament's over. Chaz is our last undefeated going into this round, besides the one that was on table 1. All right. Slowly climbing your chain. Attacking there to attack over Strabimon. Ooh, I love this song. This was a goodie. And are they able to go into a level 5? Because if not, it's going to be pretty easy to bounce. Oh, attacking in. Oh man, just having a rough go with it. You want to see Ulforce versus Blue Hybrid in the finals, but you also probably want to go to bed. I feel that. All right, the Metal Greymon in a good spot there. Going into to remove the Strabimon. We have Kendo, which doesn't really do anything, but we have Beowulf here, which also I don't think does anything. I mean, it becomes a 7k, but that Metal Greymon's still very tough to remove. It's an 8k to your 7k right now. And why is Metal Greymon an 8k? It's good otherwise. Like, it doesn't need to be able to trade over every level 5 right now. All right, but we have Mirage Galgamon, so that will help you there. We'll return it to hand, which means you will get some memory back. It looks like passing back to 1. Let's see, Tyler, you're home. Happy to hear. You're gonna miss. You didn't miss much. It looks like it's gonna be a tie. Our tie or win for Machinedramon's in a good spot right now. All right, well, looks like you have a chance to do some real damage here. Attack with Stravimon. Hits into Numemon. Gets the deletion there. Yeah, this is a really great tournament. And especially, like, thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. I do appreciate it. We're approaching hour number 4. Ooh. Getting the wrong order there on security. Obviously, you have no way to tell, but hitting into Chaos X. That is one less Chaos X you have to mess with, but a little rough there. All right, going into Kendo, which still does not have jamming. Beowulf for 1, which can be good to add Kendo back to your hand. Oh, but you're just going to do it anyways. Okay. Man, oh, you could have been super greedy. You could have been super duper greedy. You could have attacked in and then Mirage, but deciding just to be a little less greedy. And pass 2 back. So they have 2, but they can go up to 3 with their analog man and then gain an additional 4. So they have, 7 flex memory to work with this turn. So it can be pretty good, but yeah, Chaz definitely putting on the pressure. And could be good. The only thing is that he's just not... There's no like immediate setup to win next turn either, in my mind. Analog does trigger Mirage, it does, yeah. So I guess you're right. So depending on how many cards in hand, there's a little bit less in play. Because that happened game 1 too. Game 1 as well. All right, and just thinking about it. All right, playing a Dorumon. Man, just not seeing your pieces. Yeah, no Chaos X in there. Pretty much the only target you can get from that stack. Man, well, let's see what's in that security too. All right, Jerry for 4. Oh, deciding not to attack though? Okay. Interesting. I guess it gives them like less resources to work with. And also like sets up the Mirage to get your memory back as well. All right, so gain a memory and then lose a memory. Lose 2. Yeah, I didn't want to lose Mirage, I know. But I'm like, oh man, he definitely could have won last turn if he, depending on what the security is too, but there was a route. All right, thinking on the play. I think just asking sources on there too, and if he was to remove 2 sources, what was the bottom one? Probably signaling that he has a Kaustinen to potentially play. Yeah, asking. Yeah, if you remove everything, it goes down to Davis, which means guaranteed 3 memory next turn. You'll okay, yep, 2 there, going to 5, and my guess is he's just gonna hard drop the Kaustinen and just hope he doesn't lose. Okay, attack of the heavy mobile Digimon. Not everyone's running this card anymore either. So essentially you get to play a card with Blitz and Rush. More or less. Trash one card of Cyborg Machine in his hand to have all your level 6 with Machine in the trait gain Rush, and then on play, if they have a this Digimon has Devolution card Blitz for the turn. And you can use this to doesn't look like he has blocker either. Yeah, so Mamemon doesn't do anything. All right, and Aandroidd, which I think Aandroidd gives blocker, but you don't have reboot. And then you can attack into Leomon. Yeah, Jerry to draw a card. And then there. All right. So assuming Analog Man's not the last card in security and you have 2 hybrids in your hand, we're going to game number 3. And no hybrid there. All right, let's see what we got. All right, you just need 2 attacks to hit. You have 2 Tamers up. You have Strabimon. Yeah, just go for it. Let's see what happens. Last card is not Analog. Okay, get the deletion there. Do you have 2 hybrids? Or even just 1 hybrid and a Beowulf? Yeah, the tuck there. Gain a memory. Okay, get the redirect there. Technically, you lose a card from a Metal Tyrannomon, but that is going to be it. All right, game 3, baby. One more game. If Chaz takes this last one, we're going to round 5. Otherwise, we have our winner with Ulforce sitting at table 1 right now. Super close. Super close. So what do you guys think? Obviously, time not on Chaz's side either. But if Nick does brick like that again, I think there's a real chance to win this one. And I think that's the issue. Like you can't run like a lot of your top end. Like again, most decks run 2 copies of Chaos X, and if like one's in security, that's like most of yours are gone, right? Like that's half. And then like you have to find like the other one. It's very tricky. All right, Chaz not happy with their opening hand. I think Nick sent theirs back as well. Are we going to end our max round streak? We'll have to find out. Again, I've been doing most events for the last I think pretty much every Digimon event I've done in the last month always goes into a maybe it can be last, like max rounds, like 50-50 at the end, and it always goes to max rounds. We'll see if we can end the streak here. All right, so getting into it, Nick deciding to go second, and no rookies quite yet. Looks like we can add a Betamon if we want, but deciding to choose the Lanamon and passing from there. All right, we got our Dory. And about just under 8 minutes left in regulation time. All right, and having to equally just play a Gigadramon and pass 3. If you can go up your chain, never mind. Like Mirage could bounce it back to hand, but man, now they can just Digivolve into Machinedramon. Oh no, attacking into Mirage. Okay, that gets the deletion there. Wait, does it have jamming? Why does it have jamming? I'm always so used to the inheritable. I know it has reboot, so I'm like, oh, surely the red text on the front side is also reboot, but no. That's really good. Yeah, I forgot it has jamming. 100%. I've never seen someone like this is usually the card you play like 1 or 2 of in the deck too. I've never seen it just on board attack in. Yeah, 6.5 minutes. Blue Hybrid has to win, and there's already a Chaos X on the other side. It has a reboot, and which means that you don't get your dual tamer effect from it. You're probably never going to proc that this game. Yeah, sorry, Chaos. Chaos, not Chaos X. Just wait till next turn. We'll definitely see it. Oh yeah, what start of turn affects proc? Because I think you get the memory because you're a turn player, so that procs first and then reboot, right? I haven't messed with this card in a long time. I forgot how it interacts with reboot. I think you do get it, right? Right, I think you get the memory before you get the restand. It happens before both of them say start a turn, right? If it was start of main, Mimi and Joe would 100% miss it. But both of them are start turn effects, right? It's unsuspend this Digimon during your opponent's unsuspend phase. Yeah, which is after the start. Yeah. Because it goes start of turn, unsuspend phase, draw phase. Yeah. Yeah, it's a uncommon interaction. But yeah, that's how I believe it goes. Yeah, then egg phase. You're right. Yeah. All right, well, it does make a difference because you get another Davis out there, and then playing a Koji passing turn. Again, looking like you're moderately bricking as Blue Hybrid, unfortunately. Nick might just be able to start attacking for game. You only have 2 sources underneath it. Put a Lanamon, which goes into the trash. Probably an analog man if you have it. Okay, Numemon for 3. And Digivolve into another one. Crazy. That card has jamming. Alright, and you get the memory off Mimi and Joe. Alright, going into Lana. You don't have any redirect. You have Reboot and in there, so... Then put a, what I believe that is that Strawbymon underneath. All right, Beowulf. Attacking in. I guess not. Oh yeah, you can't because it did evolve into Gigodramon. It can't be blocked, and you gain a memory. Yeah. And that's Strawbymon underneath, too. Hits into Metal or Aandroidd, which I believe is also a 7K. Is Aandroidd only a 6K? Yeah, wasn't 7 as Beowulf an 8K? I'm pretty sure Beowulf's a 7K. What got the boost? How do you get over it? Oh, it has jamming. Duh, yeah. That's right. You're right. That's what I was missing. Yeah, because Lana, you played Lana, but then tucked it away. You're right. That's my bad. Yeah, I forgot you. That was what you went up the chain with. My bad. All right, and another Davis. You got 3 boys out there. Yeah, it was Lana, Tuck, Strawby, swing with Bayo, and you get the memory back off Strawby. Then also Koji gets the memory back too. So, and then you have Mirage there, which I think you can. I mean, you'd be able to attack over with Metal or Chaosmon anyways, but. I don't... What trade? How much is Galgamon? You can attack into it and then they... Okay, well. Here we go. Yeah, it's not Metal Chaosmon. It's just Chaosmon. I have slowly lost my mind and ability to talk over the last 5 minutes. All right, well, you'll definitely be able to be big enough to swing over that. Only issue is an Aandroidd now you have Reboot and Blocker, so that's pretty rough. It's going to be a little bit tricky to overcome now. And we are in time. Honestly, don't know whose turn. It's timing round right now. So Nick should be turn 0. And then yeah, Analog Man, that's going to make it pretty tough. All right, Raise and Strawby. And again, it doesn't look like he's running as much Source Destruction, which would be pretty strong against some of the... I mean, being able to remove Blocker right now from like a Kumamon would be great. Yeah, Sorai would be very strong right now. Or if one of those Davises was a Sora Joe instead. It looks like Kendo, which does have jamming, which doesn't help you a lot right here, but is there. And I'll try to remember it this time. I'm going to have object permanence. Kendo's not going to go away and be like, oh, why doesn't it have jamming? Also, they may have gone a bit of extension because of the judge call. I haven't seen Magna yet, to be honest. So maybe not. But Chaz will be getting a guaranteed top 4 placement in this, especially if it's a tie. Which means it will be on this cool website tomorrow morning. I don't know if you heard about it, called Eggman Events, right there. Right here. Got the S, there it is. And maybe on this less cool but still viable YouTube channel tomorrow morning. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. All right, playing Jerry to play the Leomon to pass 2. Yeah, I think Chaz is, at this point, like, probably pivoting to I can't win anymore. Let's just make it so I can probably tie and probably get second place. Yeah, you guys are right. The Koji Inheritable is not locked to anything, so it's just like really flexible in being able to do it. Also, what the ruling for this card, if I remember correctly, is you can just at any time use the effect and then just not go into your guy, right? So if you like late game, there's some weird scenarios where you want all of these cards underneath it. Because if I can remember it right, you can just put all 5 cards underneath it and then like fail to find. Yeah, same as Takuya. Okay, yeah. So with, there's a lot of like gain 1 memory when attacking effects and that kind of stuff that are moderately solid. So you can attack and then like gain like 3 memory, 1 off Koji itself and everything else. Yeah, but it's neg 5 of cards that are in your trash anyways, right? Unless Koji says in hand. Does he say in hand? Oh, it's from your hand. Oh, never mind. That's right. Takuya is just from trash. That's the difference. I remember there's some difference between the two of them, and it's that is still viable, but Takuya says from trash, which is way cooler. That's why he's got like a thumbs up in his picture. Like I'm the cool one. I have the actual good effect that you can abuse. Not Koji. Takuya, thumbs up. All right, yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this one's gonna go on a tie, which means Chaz is gonna finish 301 for our event today, so we'll probably be second. I don't think there's another one that's equally tied. And what was his record going into this? Nick was 2-1-2, so they will probably finish of a 202 record. I don't know. Digimon used to be the quickest game that I covered, but it's now become the longest game. Since both One Piece and Dragon Ball are best of 1 in Swiss now, like best of 3 in Digimon in not Swiss takes forever. But I understand why. Because some games, a game of Digimon takes like 5 minutes, but sometimes we get these games, and it drags. Yeah, Machinedramon and Going Into Time. Name a more iconic duo. Yeah, it's been 5 minutes. Yeah, they Tyler will probably be jumping in and telling him it's game over. I mean, even they could have even like 10 more minutes. I don't think they'd be able to finish with this board state. It'd be very tough. Yeah, it's been over 5. There he is. All right. Well, this one will end in a tie, so we do have our winner. I mean, we already had our winner after this table 1 with, I believe, Luis. Let me double check. Yeah, Luis Del Villar with Ulforce